Okay, so hi. I don't make YouTube videos, and English is not my first language, so sorry about that. I'm just making this video to answer a question I saw on the Might of Merchants YouTube channel, who is the creator of the wonderful map making tool Canvas of Kings. And the question goes like this. I'm a new user of the software, and I was wondering if there is already a feature where we can make the whole map base into a sea without it screwing up with the river and lake properties. Because when I put a big tile of sea, I can't use any other sort of water body or waterway on top of land tiles I make. So, what is this comment say? Well, basically, uh, suppose you want to create an island. What's your first instinct? Okay, I'm going to create a huge patch of sea. I'm going to then use the land plot tool to create the shape of my island, like so. And then I want to create an inland lake. Okay, I'm going to make the lake. And nothing. Maybe I have to use the sea because there is sea below, right? Makes sense, right? Well, doesn't work either. So what's going on? Well, if you delete the plot of land, you will see that the lake basin is still there. So, Canvas of Kings, at least as of today, works by giving priority to the land plots over all the water bodies, be it ocean, lakes, river, etc. So, what can you do to solve this? I want to have an island with an inner lake. Well, you can do something like this. Here's the workaround I found. We're going to use the C plot to trace the outline, the coastline of my island. So let's say this is the shape of my island. Okay, but you're not going to close this lake because hey, this is a lake, this is not an island. What you're going to do before closing is get all the way over here, are very far from your shape, and create basically the plot of sea you were trying to create. So this is sort of like a ring, and here you can see the shape of my island, but it has this little strip of land connecting the outside of the map with the inner island. I don't want that. What can I do? Well, one step at a time. Before closing this, you have to do your inner bodies of water. All of your inner bodies of water. And it's very important, sorry, to leave this strip of land connecting to the outside. We're going to talk about that in a second. So let's say, hey, I want to have this inner lake. Hey, it works because I don't have a plot of land here. I have the default land. And I want to have another lake which has a small connection to the ocean, like so. Let's say this is the island I want. Okay, how can I close this stretch of land? We're going to use the C plot again, and we're just going to close. Hey, wonderful. I have my island with my two inner lakes, and no, one of those disappeared. What happened? Well, through some trial and error, I discovered that if there is no connection between the inner body of water and the outside sea, it disappears. I don't know what happens, how the map making tool works on the background, but it just happens. So the workaround I found is you're going to create a very tiny, very little strip of water connecting the outside sea with the inland lake. Very tiny. And now that you have this connection, you can fill with the C plot the remaining stripe of land. Something like this. Okay, great. Now I have my island with my two lakes, but I don't want this strip of water here. I want it to be almost perfect. What can you do? Well, we are going to use the ground with grass plot of land, which is the same as the default background. And you're going to create a very little patch of land here to cover this tiny stripe of water. And that's it. That's everything you have to do. You can sort of see it if you look for it, but then imagine you are using all these assets. So you're putting a few animals here, you're going to put a campfire here, you're going to put some bushes here around this lake. You're going to use, for example, let's say you have a building. Oh, this is to be a brick house around here, or branches. Let's say you have where's the trees? I can't seem to find the trees, but well, you get the idea. You're going to add a lot of detail here, and then once you add this stuff, you're not going to see it really, because you're going to have so much stuff covering it around that, hey, it's already almost impossible to see. And then you're going to continue adding, for example, a dock here. You're going to add it here. What can you do? Let's say you add something like this, a small boat around. And already, if you don't know where to pay attention to, you are not going to see it. But let's just say you're going to add some grass here. Here are some grass tiles. Some are defaults by Canvas of Kings. You can use this grass tile and you add it like this and you don't see it anymore. Or maybe you want to add a few flowers, or you want to add a few trees. I can't seem to find the trees. What's happening here? The tree. So you add a few trees over here, and now you can see the patch of land, even if you remove the grass tile. So that's the way I found to create these inland lakes. I hope it's helpful, and well, leave your questions in the comments, I guess. I don't know how this is done. I will probably not make another video. Peace.